The rain was relentless that evening, beating against the windows of the small roadside diner in the outskirts of Asheville, North Carolina. Lily Hart, a 24-year-old waitress with auburn hair tucked under a faded cap, moved swiftly between tables. Her shoes squeaked on the damp linoleum, and her apron carried the stains of too many double shifts. She didn't mind the long hours, not really. Every dollar she saved brought her closer to her goal, a tiny art studio of her own. For now, though, her canvas was a notepad, and her paintbrushes were trays laden with burgers and coffee. It was nearing closing time when she noticed a boy sitting alone in the corner booth. He couldn't have been older than 8 or 9, with dark curls and big blue eyes that looked too solemn for someone his age. His hoodie was drenched, and his tiny sneakers were caked in mud. No parents in sight. Lily approached slowly. "Hey, sweetheart, you okay?" The boy looked up. "Can I have hot chocolate, please?" Her heart ached a little. "Coming right up." She brought him a steaming mug, extra marshmallows. He held it with both hands like it was a sacred treasure. "What's your name?" she asked, sitting across from him. "Eli." "Where are your parents?" "Eli." He hesitated. "My dad's away. I think he forgot about me." Lily blinked, unsure how to respond. "Do you live around here?" "No, I came in a car, but the driver left." Alarm bells rang in Lily's head. This wasn't just a kid who wandered off. Something wasn't right. She called the police station, concerned but cautious. While waiting, she kept Eli company. They played hangman on napkins. She brought him pancakes and extra syrup. He laughed once, just once, but it was enough to make her heart swell. When the officers arrived, they asked him questions. He was shy, hesitant. But then Lily noticed something. Eli was wearing a watch, a sleek silver thing that looked wildly out of place on a child. She recognized the logo. A Montreux 1932, worth thousands. She gently pointed it out to the officer. 2 hours later, the station received a call. It was from Richard Maddox, the Richard Maddox billionaire investor, tech tycoon, one of the richest men in America, and Eli's father. The truth began to unravel. Eli's mother had passed away the previous year. Since then, Richard buried himself in work, leaving Eli in the care of nannies and chauffeurs. But earlier that week, Eli had run away from his private estate after his father canceled yet another weekend visit. The driver was meant to take him to his grandmother's. Somehow, Eli convinced the man to stop for food and snuck away at a gas station. Lily had found him hours later, soaked and shivering. When Richard arrived at the station that night, the contrast was stark. Designer coat, polished shoes, a presence that filled the room. But his face crumbled the moment he saw Eli. "Dad," the boy whispered. Richard knelt, hugging his son with a desperation that broke everyone's heart. The next morning, Lily returned to the diner. Her manager pulled her aside with a smirk. "You've got a visitor." Richard Maddox stood in the parking lot holding a leather briefcase. "Thank you," he said. "For everything." Lily shrugged, sheepish. "I just gave him hot chocolate." "You gave him something he hadn't had in a long time." "Comfort." He handed her the briefcase. A gift inside was a check, enough to pay for art school, enough to start her studio, enough to change her life. She stared at it, stunned. I can't accept this." "You already did." Richard smiled. "When you chose kindness without expecting anything in return." He left her with a card, his direct number. "Call me if you ever want to paint something bigger." 3 years later, Lily's name graced the front of her own gallery. One painting sat at the center. A little boy in a hoodie holding a mug of hot chocolate, eyes full of quiet hope. She called it the moment that changed everything, because sometimes helping someone else writes the story that changes your own.